As you guys often say on the podcast, life happens, and it happened to me 7 weeks ago. I rolled my ankle on a trail run and haven't really been able to do much since. I've watched my friends' power go higher and higher as I sat idle. I feel I won't be able to keep up with them on group rides any longer. I took about a 30 to 40 watt FTP hit in the 7 weeks off. He's at about 242, he said right now. I like how he says about 242. It's very specific, right?
242-ish.
Yeah. It's like me with my top.
Could be 242.5.
The top 23 at a result, right? Yeah, something like that. And then he says VO2 max decrease of 5 according to his Garmin, and then he says he gains about 7 pounds. In other words, right now, David's freaking out because he's a cyclist and type A athlete, right? And he's like, I'm losing it, and everyone in the world is faster than me because of this one thing, right? He says, I'm curious what style of training is the most effective way to get it all back. Really, what I read that as is, what in the world can I do to get this back tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's really asking. Should I be focusing on volume, intensity, both? I'm suffering from a bit of lack of motivation due to the losses and seeing my friends' increases. Do you have any tips to overcome the psychological side of this? So last little bit, he says, 5-star podcast, listen every day for about 1.5 hours, and I feel sad when I've reached the end of the backlog and have to wait a week between episodes. I can't wait to start a particular plan when I start training heavily again. I'm just not sure that now is the right time for me to sign up for my lack of motivation. So, Nate, we didn't talk about this, but I want a quote that you said the other day to one of our employees. It was so good. He got to a point where he peaked. He got to a point where he tried to bring that peak too long. He got tired. And then at that point now, he's had plenty of time off to recover. And this guy, the employee at our office here, he's saying, now I'm just going to do some easy stuff for a while and just kind of ride however I want and just kind of do the easy stuff before I really get into training. And you said something to him,
Well,
and I think it actually
said.
applies.
Chad says it. You don't need to work out to work out?
No, you said that. Let me say that
say a
back
lot
to
of
you.
things,
Yeah,
yeah.
you said, let me say that back to you. I'm going to take all this freshness I've built up and get rid of this freshness before I actually start training.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a great point. I hadn't thought of it in that regard. Yeah. That's fantastic. And in this case, it's kind of like, I'm just not sure I want to jump into a plan yet. I kind of want to noodle around and get things back where I want to be, and that is really common.
And that what happens, I see this so much with high level well, not even just age group athletes. You are afraid to do a test and get your zones because your FTP is tied to your self-worth. So before that,
incorrectly, but it is.
Yep, you want to do like a whole bunch of like quick hitting VO2 max or sprints or something like that to get it higher, so that when you do the ramp test, it's you have a higher number and you don't feel so bad about yourself.
Yes.
When honestly, got lots of data to show this. Just follow like sweet spot base, and over the course of the season, you'll be better than having to work out before you work out.
Yeah, further.
Yeah.
Work out before you work out. You'll be further along for sure. Yeah, exactly. And it's also, on the training side of things, just get into a plan. And it's fine if you can reduce the workout intensity. That's okay. You can take a test.
Well, just do the ramp test and you'll be fine.
And you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, coming back from injury, just talk to your doctor, of course.
Of course.
Don't pedal if you have pain. Anecdotally, did I say that word right?
That's it.
Yep. Yeah.
Nailed it.
We've had ourselves ankle injuries where we've all sprained them. Mm-hmm. And for us, we've had PTs and doctors recommend cycling as long as there's not pain. But every injury is different. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, talk to your
doctor.
Yeah, so it happened twice to me. And both times my ankle ballooned up to the point where the swelling pushed into my foot enough. It was hard to get my cycling shoe on. And of course, my ankle is very delicate. So getting the shoe on was a bit uncomfortable.
Yep.
But I'd get it on. And
whoa, is that Chad's foot?
Yeah. So that's one of them.
Now.
That's one of them. That was the first one when I taught spin classes.
You can watch, on YouTube. You could join us every week and you'd be able to see this. That's Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific is usually when we record.
Yep.
You could see Chad's swollen ankle.
So that's one of them, right? So once I got the shoe on, pedaling a bike actually worked wonders. I mean, I'm not doing explosive sprints or anything, but I was still teaching a spin class, and it was still, basically a high intensity interval training course. Mm-hmm. This is what people expected, so that's what I had to deliver. And I know you can always dial the tension down on them.
But
the fact is,
Chad was sitting at 1.
The fact is, you can pedal a bike. You can pedal a bike just fine because there's not a lot of lateral motion going on, right? There's not a lot of challenge for the damaged connective tissue. And then the same thing that happened again when I taught the indoor power classes, and I knew, I can probably do this. And I pushed it a little further in terms of actually doing a bit of high intensity work and got away with it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's something you should just gamble with, but the fact is if you feel pain, just ease up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But riding a bike is super beneficial in terms of rehabbing a rolled ankle.
Yeah, extremely
And I
common.
confirmed it twice.
You can also see this in the forum if you type in episode
233.
233. Gosh, that's a lot.
I know. They're racking up.
I know, racking up. Chad, what happens? So this just happens a lot too. People take some time off, you fall quickly, but you actually come back quicker, or come back quickly also.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in the middle of sweet spot base and the workouts start to get pretty easy, right? Should I retest? Should I just bump it up a little bit? Or should I just ride it through? Or any of the three are?
Retest or bump it up. I wouldn't just ride it through. Right. At that point, you're not receiving a sufficient training stimulus anymore. So you're kind of just going through motions and you're going to stagnate. And when there is still some low-hanging fruit there, you're still in the midst of improving. You don't have to wait for 6 weeks or 8 weeks or getting through a plan before you reassess. You certainly don't have to wait any period of time before you just nudge it up a few watts because maybe you feel good that day, maybe you recognize there's been an improvement in your fitness, etc.
What about going from like low to mid volume?
You can do that too. You can increase your volume. Yeah. Keep your threshold just the same. Keep the intensity just the same, but start doing more work.
The other thing I want to say, and some people will adjust, like they'll do the ramp test, they'll go through sweet spot base, and these are not threshold intervals, right? So each interval should not be like you could turn up, like everyone could probably turn up their sweet spot workouts and be
get
gassed,
them done.
right, and get them done.
Still get it done, but that'll catch up with you.
Exactly. So just because there is some room, you don't need to press it against it where every interval is like, oh my gosh, that was amazingly hard. Like that's coming.
That's why the ramp test is so great.
Yeah.
Because then there's less guesswork in there.
So you could just do the ramp test in the middle of the plan.
It's
if
not,
you think that you've jumped about. But also too, these plans are progressive. So just because I'm experiencing right now in high volume and I kind of want to bump it up, but I'm also like, haven't done this much volume consistently and I still have 4 weeks and I'm like, it's going to catch up.
Absolutely something to be wary of.
And the intervals get longer and at a higher percentage. And I'm like, I really want to have like a week where every workout is pretty easy before I bump it up. Or how my strategy is, Chad, the last interval before some of the easy days, I bump up a little bit and I'm going to see how that responds.
Get a taste of it.
Yeah, just a taste of it, like a small dose, and have a recovery day. Because so often I've done this. I don't know if you guys do this too. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You turn it up and then you miss a quality workout.
And then the next day.
Yeah, and then it's like bad and then it's a spiral.
Yep.
So don't fall in that trap, David.
Yeah. Err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
On the psychological side of things, for the worry that he has that every cyclist does. So first of all, we're really good at thinking of ourselves in a vacuum, and we think that we're the only one suffering any sort of the bad luck that's fallen upon us, anything like that. And we think everybody else is having no problems whatsoever. And why me, right? That's just human. Like we're really good at doing that, and it's a bad thing. So first of all, remember the fact that everybody's going to have setbacks. And at some point, if you're sick right now, they're going to be sick later. If you're injured right now, somebody's going to get injured at some other point later. And I'm not saying that as ill will toward anybody else, but I'm just trying to show the fact that it's all a bit chaotic and it all will happen. And at some point, and don't worry, you're not at a massive disadvantage.
Yeah, injuries and illness happen. You just have to roll with it. It's going to be a setback, but it'll be a temporary one. So just recognize that it's just right now.
And drops happen too.
Totally.
Did you drop this off season? How much did you drop?
I ended up dropping like 12 watts, 15 watts.
I dropped 20 watts.
Yep.
How much did you drop, Chad?
A lot.
100?
Yeah. No, seriously.
Like
that's not a
seriously,
joke.
100 watts.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you're off the bike for 6 months. But
Yeah. Like
that's how it goes.
So don't worry about it. Also, what you can do for motivation wise is start a season at the beginning of your new, like when you come back, start a season for then, and you'll start to see PRs for that season.
It's motivating.
I'm like, for this time period, I want to see myself improve. And as you do longer, like you go through the plans and the workouts do get harder inside of a plan, you'll start to get more PRs because you'll do more wattage and stuff. And
one of the features of TrainerRoad that isn't used nearly enough. Everybody listening to this, you should go to your personal records and you can create seasons for any time frame.
Yeah, on the website.
And then you can compare your PRs from any season to another. And it's hugely helpful. Like I live and die by that. It's so helpful for me. And then you can go even a step further And let's say that you're 6 weeks back into coming back from your injury and you have injury recovery, something like that, whatever you want to name it as a season. You can see what that was like when you were compared to 6 weeks coming in from coming off the couch the last time. And I guarantee you'll see that you're actually not as far behind as you think. So it's a really good way to get apples to apples. That part's called season match. It's
although
awesome.
what you're saying, like, so although I am less than peak last year, I'm ahead of November from last year.
Exactly.
Therefore, I'm very excited.
Yep, exactly right. Yeah, it's not, you don't have to wait till peak fitness to find out if you're fast, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and let us know with a thumbs up down below.
If you didn't like us, give us a thumbs down, but let us know what we could do to improve in the comments.
Absolutely. And if you want to become a faster cyclist, you should head over to TrainerRoad.com. It works.
True story.
It's true. Nate used to be slow and now he's fast.
Sort of fast. Not as fast as you.
Still fast, Nate.